Have you ever stood by the shore, watching the waves crash against the sand, and felt a profound sense of timelessness? The ocean seems ancient, eternal, a keeper of secrets from a world long past. But what if I told you there's something on our planet, something you can hold in your hand, that is older than the ocean itself? In fact, it's older than the mountains, older than the continents, and even older than the first whispers of life. Let's journey back in time, not just thousands or millions of years, but billions. We're going to a period when Earth was a chaotic, young planet, a world still being forged in the cosmic furnace. The oceans as we know them hadn't formed yet. The atmosphere was a toxic blend of gases, and the surface was a molten, volcanic landscape constantly bombarded by asteroids and comets. It's hard to imagine, isn't it? A world without water, without blue skies, without a single blade of grass. It was in this primordial chaos, around 4.4 billion years ago, that tiny crystals began to form. These weren't just any crystals. They were crystals of zircon, forged under immense heat and pressure deep within the Earth's nascent crust. These microscopic gems are the oldest known terrestrial materials ever discovered. Think about that for a moment. The oldest piece of our planet that we have ever found is a tiny, resilient crystal, often no bigger than a grain of sand. These ancient zircons were discovered in a place that seems just as ancient and weathered, the Jack Hills of Western Australia. This region is a remote and rugged landscape of rolling rusty red hills that have been worn down by billions of years of erosion. Geologists, like patient detectives, sifted through these ancient rocks, searching for clues about Earth's early history. And they found them, tucked away inside younger sandstone. They found these time-traveling zircons. How do we know they're so old? The answer lies in a natural clock hidden within the crystal itself. Zircon crystals incorporate uranium atoms into their structure when they form, but they reject lead. Over billions of years, this unstable uranium decays into stable lead at a very precise, predictable rate. By measuring the ratio of uranium to lead within a zircon crystal, scientists can calculate its age with incredible accuracy. It's just like finding a clock that started ticking the moment it was created and has been running perfectly ever since. The oldest of these Jack Hills zircons, affectionately nicknamed the Zircon Hadianira crystal, has been dated to an astounding 4.374 billion years old. To put that in perspective, our planet is about 4.54 billion years old. This means this tiny crystal formed when the Earth was just an infant, only about 160 million years into its existence. The Moon had likely just formed from a cataclysmic impact, and the solar system was still a wild and untamed place. But these zircons tell us more than just their age. They are like microscopic time capsules, carrying secrets from a world we can't see directly. By analyzing the chemical composition of these crystals, scientists have been able to piece together a startling picture of early Earth. For a long time it was believed that the first 500 million years of Earth's history, a period known as the Hadean Eon, was a literal hellscape of fiery, molten world completely inhospitable to life. The name Hadean itself comes from Hades, the Greek underworld. However, the zircons from Jack Hills challenge this view. Analysis of the oxygen isotopes within them suggests something remarkable. They formed in the presence of liquid water. This is a game changer. It implies that Earth may have cooled down much faster than previously thought, allowing liquid water oceans to form as early as 4.3 billion years ago. So, while our modern oceans are younger, the potential for vast bodies of water, a water world, may have existed far earlier in our planet's history. These tiny crystals hint at a cooler, wetter, and perhaps more habitable early Earth. Imagine that. A world not of fire and brimstone, but of water and rock, long before the first signs of life appeared in the fossil record. These zircons are the only physical evidence we have from this enigmatic period. They are our only direct window into the Hadean, and without them, the first half-billion years of our planet's story would be almost entirely blank. What's even more incredible is the journey these tiny crystals have been on. After forming deep within the crust, they were likely eroded out of their parent rock, transported by ancient rivers that no longer exist, and deposited into sediment. Over billions of years, that sediment was buried, compressed into rock, pushed up by tectonic forces, and then eroded all over again. This cycle may have happened multiple times. These zircon crystals have survived it all. They've been cooked, crushed, buried, and uplifted. Yet their internal structure remains intact, preserving that precious record of their birth. They are nature's ultimate survivors. Their resilience is what makes them so valuable. While the rocks they originally formed in have long since been melted down and recycled back into the Earth's mantle, these tiny, durable crystals persisted. They are like messages in a bottle, cast into the geological sea billions of years ago, waiting for us to find them and read their story. When we hold a representation of one of these zircons, or even just contemplate its existence, we are connecting with the very dawn of our planet. Before the continents drifted into their current shapes, before the atmosphere filled with oxygen, before the first complex cell evolved, these zircons already existed. They witnessed the bombardment of the young Earth. They felt the warmth of a younger sun, and they were present for the formation of the first oceans. It's a humbling thought. We often see history in terms of human civilization a few thousand years. We might stretch our minds to think of the dinosaurs, millions of years ago, but these zircons ask us to think on a scale of billions. They connect us to a past so deep it's almost beyond comprehension. They are a physical link to the genesis of the ground beneath our feet. So the next time you stand by the ocean, feel the ancient rhythm of the tides, and marvel at its vastness. Remember this. Remember that buried in the rocks of an ancient weathered land, there are tiny crystals, no bigger than a speck of dust, that hold a history even older. They are silent witnesses to the birth of our world, a time before the ocean, a time when the story of Earth was just beginning, and in their silent crystalline hearts they carry the memory of an Earth we are only just beginning to understand. They remind us that even the smallest things can hold the grandest stories, and that the history of our planet is written not just in the great oceans and mountains, but in a single resilient grain of sand. Thanks for joining me on this journey back to the dawn of time. If you found this as fascinating as I do, consider liking this video and subscribing for more stories about our incredible universe. Stay curious.